in 1998, I went out on my own, I opened my own practice, and barely a year later, they came to me and said, hey, why don't you run for state bar president? And when I picked myself off the floor and stopped laughing, I thought, maybe this is that next step to move the issues that I care about. But rather than being flattered as I was when I was invited to run for treasurer, I really tried to stop and think about why I would do such a thing. And I asked, why me? Really? I mean, you got 21,000 members. Why me? What's different or unique about what I bring to the table that makes it something that I should do? Why now? I was at that point, let's see, this is, I was early 40s. I'll talk about kind of what happens to you after you're bar president, but I was pretty engaged in the bar, and the idea that if I took this step at that particular moment, I might fade into the sunset was a little disconcerting to me. I thought I still had a lot of time that I wanted to spend on bar issues. And then I thought, why should I or could I do this? You know, really. Do I have the ability to stand up in front of a room full of people and talk? I can tell you actually before I did this, I didn't. Am I actually capable of doing the job? I ultimately declined that invitation. Not so much because I didn't think I could do the job. It was kind of interesting as I talked to people. Oh, you'll be great, they would say. It wasn't so much that I doubted that I could do it, because I'm a little bit of a workaholic and I knew I would put everything into it. But I really felt like where I was at that moment, the projects that I was working on, the committee work, I was accomplishing exactly what I needed to accomplish. There wasn't anything different or unique about being president that I thought could accelerate that work. And then there was that other little matter of a brand new solo practice, and I thought maybe that my husband might appreciate it if I actually did some work. But 3 years later, they knocked on my door again. I'm like, really, dude? I said no. But they came back and they said, really, we think that you should run for president. I went through the same process and I asked myself the same questions, and I tried to, again, really analyze whether this was something that I should do. And ultimately I decided that I would run. And I was successful. And I had the pleasure or misfortune to serve a term as president of the state bar. And while the diversity and pro bono issues were really important to me, I learned another axiom of leadership, which is the year you plan is never the year you have. There was this little thing of a $50 special assessment to help fund list staff. There was Ethics 2000. There was the unauthorized practice of law. And so these issues, which were critical to our practice, there was never a question about whether the bar would respond or take these issues up. They had to. And so I had to put aside, or at least put in a slightly lower position, those issues that originally brought me to running for the position. And I had to serve all of the members of the bar.